Good evening, parents and guardians. Thank you for joining us for our advanced academic course selection night. This is for our sixth grade and seventh grade parents. Tonight, our counselors and academic dean is going to walk us through what discerns academic courses and what does that mean and how does that set kids up moving forward. If you have any questions, please include those in the chat. We'll monitor that and we will address that to the group. Or if it's an individual question that doesn't need to be addressed to the entire group, we will address that in the chat as well. I'm your principal, Sean McKenzie. Thank you for joining us and having ownership in your kids' education. So I'm going to turn it over to our amazing academic dean. This is Ann Devlin. Thank you, Ann Devlin, for leading our academic course selection night.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Ms. Martinez, if you want to advance the slide. So tonight we want to give you information to assist you in helping your children select their courses for next year. We're going to talk about pathways to advanced courses, high school credit courses, avid and innovative thinkers, academic and advanced courses, fine arts, and now other elective choices, what the planning guide, so you can go back and read through this, and other resources from the district, as well as our counselors' contact information and additional selection guide and Schoology. Thank you. So if you currently have a sixth grader, sixth graders have the option of going into advanced ELA or advanced math. As children move into seventh and eighth grade, they can be in advanced ELA. They can take the advanced math, advanced science, advanced history, or if in their second year of Spanish, there is an advanced Spanish available. ELA, science, and history do not require a prerequisite to enroll. Math, because they accelerate the curriculum so that by the time they're in eighth grade, they're taking high school algebra. Math does require a prerequisite. Spanish 1 does not require a prerequisite, but advanced Spanish 2 does. So that's information that will be provided to you in all of the resources the counselors are going to share tonight. Thank you. So AVID is an optional elective that we have for 6th, 7th, and 8th. In 8th grade, it takes the place of their MAPS course, so it does not even count as an elective by the time they get to 8th grade. But an AVID student is a student that wants to have ownership of their learning, but it's probably someone who doesn't already take a lot of advanced classes or have a family history of college band. It's going to fill in that information and support those children. There is an application for this course, so if your child is not already in AVID, they do need to do the application in order to take it next year. Thank you. Innovative Thinkers is the way that middle school in Northside services our GT students, students that are already identified as GT. In 7th grade, they take Innovative Thinkers 2. And the way we do that, so it doesn't take the place of an elective, is their ELA is now a 45-minute class for the GT students. The rest of us take 90-minute 7th grade ELA classes. In 8th grade, the GT class, Innovative Thinkers, takes the place of the MAPS course, which all 8th graders take MAPS. If they're not in GT or AVID, that allows them to get that high school credit for speech. Thank you. Speaking of high school credits, as your child moves into seventh and eighth grade, we have opportunities for them to earn high school credits. Advantages of earning high school credits in middle school opens opportunities in high school. In high school, they have to have a certain number of credits to graduate. If they have taken care of some of those credits in advance, they are able to take upper level classes with dual credit in high school. They can take other electives that interest them. They can also enroll in courses for certification or work study. So doing the extra work in middle school to earn those credits opens up things for them in high school. When they do these high school credits, they are required to have the attendance requirements of 90%. If they are absent more than 10% of the school year, they do have to recover those days. They take the classes, they take the exams, and then these grades do go on their high school transcript and count towards their high school GPA. So those are things to talk about at home. Thank you. I'm going to introduce Ms. Martinez, one of our counselors, and she's going to take on the next part of our presentation.
Thank you, Ms. Devlin. All right. So, for those of you who are planning ahead for your child, there are going to be 26 credits that are needed to graduate as far as meeting the requirements. And so, there are some options that your students do have at the middle school level to obtain those high school credits, just like Ms. Devlin mentioned. And so, taking a look what they need to graduate for Northside are going to be 4 credits of ELA, so like English every year. They'll need 4 credits of math. And so, for those who are on the advanced pathway, eighth graders will take Algebra 1, so moving into Algebra 2 when they get to high school. And then, if your student is a current sixth grader, they'll move on to accelerated pre algebra as a seventh grader. You will need 4 credits for science, 4 for social studies, 1 credit for PE, 2 language requirements. So that's where we offer our Spanish courses. We offer Spanish 1 and 2. So for sixth graders, you do have that option to begin with Spanish 1 and essentially be done for those 2 years before you leave middle school. Students who are in seventh grade and did not take Spanish this year, they still do have the option to start Spanish 1 as an eighth grader with the expectation that they are going to take Spanish 2 going into ninth grade. They do need to be those consecutive years for the language. They will need 1 fine arts credit, in which we do have options here in middle school that you'll see here shortly. The half a credit for their speech, the COMAPs, and then they will need a health credit as well as 5 elective credits that they will get throughout their time. So, looking ahead for those students who are going to eighth grade, we do have a lot more course offerings that do award high school credit. If your child is a current sixth grader going to seventh, they have the ability to start Spanish. So, that's just something to look forward to if you're looking to kind of get an early jump start on that. But for our seventh graders going to eighth, these are the classes that you're going to be having the option to choose from. So, Spanish, either 1 or 2 they can go into. If they are on the accelerated math track, then they will be taking advanced middle school algebra 1. If your child is in art and they um, are currently been in art, they can get recommended for Studio Art 3 by their teacher, or every student going to eighth grade is eligible to take Art 1 high school. That class does fulfill the 1 fine arts credit. Not to scare anybody, it is an entry level art class. So even though it is at a high school level, it is Art 1. And so they do not need to know any skill to go into this class. Um, all eighth graders will have the options of taking Principles of Applied Engineering, Principles of Human Services, and then, like Ms. Devlin previously mentioned, every student will get their speech credit either through Avid, MAPS, or through Innovative Thinkers. One thing to just keep in mind is that students cannot be removed from these courses. So once the school year starts and your child has began to take a high school credit class, they cannot move out. So we cannot be switching electives due to the attendance requirements as well as how it affects their GPA. So please be mindful when choosing these courses and talking to your children about them. They have to commit to staying in them. If they struggle, our dean does look over the grades and keep track, and we try to make sure that they're as successful as possible. But just kind of working in a partnership to make sure that all students are successful. So I am going to go ahead and hand it over to our head counselor, Mrs. Pettis.
Thank you, Mrs. Martinez. Welcome, parents. I am going to be walking you through what your child will be choosing and the way the planning guide will look. And so we are going to visit with your children through ELA classes. We're going to be starting next week. And so for the sixth graders going into seventh grade, this is what their planning guide will look like. It will be coming home for you to review it and make any changes you all feel need to be made. But I'm just going to walk you through what they're going to do with us. That way, if they have questions, you can help them with it. So in seventh grade, the children will have the option of staying on level seventh grade ELA class. So they would circle that one. They can also choose to do the advanced ELA 7th. So if in sixth grade they are currently in advanced and they're being successful, they should continue with that advanced route. Now, if your child is currently in a regular ELA class, but maybe feels like they want that rigor and they want that challenge, we always tell the students, talk to your current ELA teacher because they're going to be a great resource for you to give you those good, some good feedback about placement. Our ELA in seventh grade is also 90 minutes. So that's a 2-block period. The students that are in GT, the gifted and talented students, they will have the advanced ELA class for one period, and then they will have another period of innovative thinkers too. And that's how they will meet that requirement for GT. So that's a little bit different moving to seventh grade for our GT students. The other class they will choose is the math. So again, they can do on level seventh grade math. Our students who are currently taking advanced math in sixth grade will be moving into advanced math 7th. So that is a requirement and a prerequisite for them to be in advanced math currently. Now, if your child is not in an advanced class, but maybe they want to go that route, we also offer in seventh grade a math bridge class. These are for students who are not currently in advanced, but want to finish eighth grade with that algebra class, which is a high school credit course. The math bridge class is 2 blocks, so it is the 90-minute class, and it takes one of their electives away because they need the 90 minutes in there. This is also a virtual class, and so you're not in the traditional classroom with the teacher in front of you. So it does involve them logging in through a Chromebook and having a teacher that teaches the course. So the other choice is science, and now they do get to stay on level seventh grade science, or they have the option to move to the advanced route, which is something new that they didn't have as sixth graders, but they're, now that they're getting older, they have more options available to them. Then you can see Texas history, they can stay on level. If they want that rigor, the challenge, they can choose to move up to advanced Texas history as well. And so that covers the core academics. And then the children will do a PE class, or they can choose to take a dance class instead of PE. Some students might want to join athletics. And so for athletics, their coaches will be making some recommendations. And so they can speak with their coach about being interested in joining athletics. So after that, if you go to the bottom of their planning guide, you see the list of all the electives that are available to them. And we'll talk about this a little bit later, but I just wanted you to kind of look at the core of what their required courses will be. And so on the next slide, we're going to look at 8th grade. The 8th grade planning guide is a little bit different. As far as the core, they can choose again regular 8th grade on level ELA class or the advanced route. They can also do for math in 8th grade, it's called pre-algebra. If they are currently again in advanced math, they will be moving on to the algebra class. Again, that is only if they're currently on that advanced route. Then you have the science, the history, the same. They can choose on level or they can choose to move up to the advanced route. And so the change for 8th graders is this other class that is called math. And so all of the 8th graders are required to take this class. It's a full year course. It will earn them their speech credit in high school. So if the students are in GT right now, they will, instead of MAPS, take Innovative Thinkers 3. And any students that want to join AVID, that will take the place of MAP. So they're going to be in one of these 3 as 8th graders. Again, those are their core courses for 8th grade. So now let's move on to electives, because now they have a lot more choices than when they were in 6th grade. And so as far as electives, as you see, your child can continue taking one of the fine arts electives that they took as 6th graders, which are listed here on your left side. They can do band, orchestra, choir, theater, dance, or art. If they're currently in that and they love that and they want to continue, they can continue and level up to the next level of that fine arts elective. But they also, if you look at the middle part, 7th graders also can choose Spanish. They can choose PBS, Future Lab, in 7th or in 8th grade. They can wait as well. STEM is available for 7th or 8th grade. Now, there are some courses, some electives that require an application, and you'll see them here highlighted in black. So if they're going to apply, if they want journalism for the media, if they want yearbook, or if they want AVID, they do need to complete an application. And so we will have those available to them when we meet with them. The other thing is also later on, we'll show you the course catalog, because that has a description of all the courses in case you want to maybe do some research about what each of these courses is about. The other thing I missed is the dance. That's also an option. If they took dance as 6th graders, they can move up to dance 2. But if they've never been in a dance class, they would choose dance 1. Now, for those students who are going into 8th grade, so again, they can choose from anything in the fine arts column. They can choose anything in the 7th grade column, or they can choose Spanish 2 or Advanced Spanish 2. So any 7th grader that is currently in Spanish 1, they need to do the next level, which is Spanish 2. That will meet their high school requirements for a language. They also have Principles of Human Services. So anything that you see in the yellow here, that means that it indicates that they will earn a high school credit course if they meet both the attendance requirement and if they pass that course. So Principles of Human Services is the new option, and they can do Principles of Applied Engineering as well. We also offer journalism, the media, or the yearbook for 8th graders. And they can continue with dance as one of their electives. And we also do office aid. But again, office aid is an application, so we will have those available as well. So this kind of shows you 2 electives that your children will be required to pick. And this just walks you through how they're going to fill out the bottom part of their planning guide. So pretty much they're going to choose their elective, write it in there, and then the course number that comes with it. We do ask for 2 alternates. And so the alternates are just backups. It means that if for some reason you do not get into your first or second elective, what else can you live with? What else do you want to take? One of the biggest things we recommend and we tell the children is choose your elective wisely. Choose it because it's something that you're interested in, that you want to learn about. A lot of times they choose it because their best friend is going to take that course. But we tell them if you might not even have a class with your friend. So make sure you're in something that you like or that you want to learn about, because they are there for the entire year. And so those are just some of the conversation pieces you can have with your children about, is this what you really want? This is for the full year. At the bottom here, it does show you where you can scan the QR code, and that has the course catalog I was talking to you about. That will include there's a middle school and the high school one. And literally any class that you have a question about, it will describe it for you. And so we really encourage parents to be familiar with the course catalog, so that way you can help your children make some decisions. So that's all the sixth grade courses, and it just goes down through all the grade levels. But that will be linked for you. And I am going to turn it over now to Mrs. Hernandez, who will continue with the presentation.
Thank you, Ms. Perez. Hello, everybody. So basically, these are the dates we're going to be going into the ELA teachers classes. So if you know your students' ELA classes, you could kind of figure out when they'll be seeing us and when we have a presentation and we'll be entering the courses. So know that for current 7th graders, it'll be from February 9th through February 13th, which is basically next week. And then for those current 6th graders, it'll be the next 2 weeks. So make sure you know if you don't know your teachers, your students' teachers ELA, then that's something you might want to discuss. But the ELA teachers have prepared them, and they have told them that they will be meeting with us soon. Now, as far as the course selection changes, I know sometimes it's nerve-wracking where students are picking their courses and then you're not sure if they're picked the right courses and all that. Well, every student is going to receive a copy of their planning guide. When you receive that planning guide, if there's no changes you need to make, you could keep the copy. But if there's any changes you need to make, then make sure you make the changes in the planning guide and go ahead and sign it. That way we are aware that you're the one asking for the changes. Now, if you don't get the copy, because I know students do forget or it gets lost in their backpack for some reason, in April, you will be receiving a letter with the courses they selected. On this letter, if there's changes you want to make, you can make the changes on this letter, have it signed, and then bring it to the counseling office and we'll make the changes. So know that you have all of the rest of the school year until the last day of the school year to make these changes. So if your student doesn't give you either the copy of the planning guide or if you don't get the letter, then you could always email their counselor and we'll go ahead and make those changes. Now, I know athletics is something popular and a lot of teachers, a lot of parents ask about that. So if you want your student or your student wants to go into the athletic program, make sure that you contact the coaches, because they're the ones that actually make the placements. So they're the ones that would have more information of how they could go in and any other information that you might need. Remember, when students are requesting athletics courses, we will put them in PE at first. Once we get the list from the coaches, then we'll go ahead and make the changes for it to reflect the athletic program. Again, don't worry about it. Your kids got this. They'll make their choices, but you still have a say-so for the final choices in the end. So I'll go ahead and introduce Ms. Solis. She's going to be the next counselor, and she'll go ahead and walk you through our newsletter as well.
Hello, good evening, parents. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We wanted to introduce our SMORE. This is our one-stop shop informative platform for parents. I know there's a lot of questions about resources. So here in our SMORE, we will provide you with all the information that we provide for our students. There's information about our magnet schools. We've got transition as far as our schedule is concerned. Lots of great information. We also have our course catalogs that are included. The information that we have shared tonight will be included as well. We have our planning guides so that you can see these planning guides as a reference. And so lots of great information that you will be able to have regarding transition for any grade level. And again, it's resources, who to contact, lots of great information that we have included for you in our SMORE.
So I just wanted to jump in here and clarify, when we meet with the students, I know several people are asking in the chat, the counselors will be available through their ELA class. So remember, ELA is 2 periods long. The first part of the class will be for us to present all the electives, all their options, and literally we're going to walk the students through each course that's available to them. We're going to help them and guide them in completing their planning guide. The second half of the course, once the children choose what they want to take, they're going to meet one-on-one with a counselor, and we're going to have just conversations with them about their choices, and we're going to enter these courses for them in HACC. And so that is how they're going to end up with their courses for next year. Once this copy goes home, if you have changes, you're still able to make any changes. And so we're going to walk your children through all of the options through their ELA teacher's course.
Thank you for clarifying, Ms. Bettis. We also want to introduce you to our Schoology tile. Your child will have access to all the information that we present, and we post that information into their Schoology tile for counseling. So that once they click on that, you're able to see the information that was presented to them as well. Here are our alphas, how we divide up or amongst in our departments. You're assigned counselor. And so we have the start of the alphabet. Of course, me, I'm A through B. I am accessible through email, even though I'm shared with another middle school campus. So if you need to connect with me directly, email is a great way, and I will connect with you as well. And then we have our other counselors as far as our alpha splits. So we have our information, our contact information provided to you if you have specific questions that you would like to email or connect with us. That's information that's important as well for you to have. Okay. Thank you again for your connecting with us tonight. And if you again have any specific questions, know that we will be working with your child. We are going to go step by step through this process. You are going to receive the information as well once we connect with them in class. So we're looking forward to partnering with you this year. Thank you so much for participating tonight.
Yes, thank you for joining. And if you have specific questions, you can send those to us when we send you the slides and also the recording. There were some questions about that's a lot of information. And to our ladies, our counselors, and our academic dean, they are experts in helping students plan for their future and a great resource. And ladies, thank you for a very informative and clarifying presentation tonight. We appreciate you. And we appreciate those of you that joined us. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and close the Zoom tonight. We will be sending a copy of this out, as Mr. McKenzie said, later this week. Have a great night.